This week marks 10 years since John F. Kennedy Jr. died in a plane crash off the coast of Martha's Vineyard, along with his wife Carolyn and sister-in-law Lauer Bissett. Their deaths shocked the country, and while JFK Jr.'s life was tragically cut short, the fascination with him lives on. They are some of the most iconic images of Camelot, many featuring President John F. Kennedy's only son, JFK Jr. In the happiest of times, he made people smile, while his sadness was enough to move a nation. Throughout his life, JFK Jr. was constantly photographed, from childhood to adolescence, from his dating life to his married life with wife Carolyn Bissett. It seemed like nothing was private.
For a generation of people who grew up in the 80s and in the 90s, he was an iconic figure. A lot of people, even though they never knew him, felt this kind of close connection.
Perhaps that's because JFK Jr. was always known as a regular guy, who even as an adult chose not to shy away, reminding people of the carefree kid he once was. Walking the dog down a New York City street, hitting the ski slopes, enjoying the water, or just burning some energy outside.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet George.
There was also his professional life. He started a political magazine called George in 1995. Many believed it was his first step toward a career in politics. And then there was his love for flying, which ultimately would lead to his death. On July 16, 1999, John and his wife were on their way to cousin Rory Kennedy's wedding in Hyannisport, Massachusetts. They were supposed to drop Carolyn's sister Lauren off along the way in Martha's Vineyard. But John's plane crashed in the Atlantic, killing all three and shocking family, friends, and fans.
John Kennedy was a young man with a lot of promise, and unfortunately we'll just never know the full extent of what he could have accomplished in life.
People magazine recently obtained some previously unreleased photos of JFK Jr. Patrick Rogers is one of the editors at People. Patrick, good morning. Nice to see you.
Morning, Matt.
As we start to look through these photos, what will, I think, register with people is these weren't photos taken by the paparazzi. These were taken by a good friend.
These are photos taken by a friend, Sasha Chermayeff, who met John Kennedy Jr. at prep school when they were 15, 16 years old. They remained best friends throughout their lives up until just a couple of weeks before he died.
Yeah, she had dinner with him about a week before he died. When she learned of his death, she took these photos and everything else that related to him, put them in a box under her bed. Why do you think she decided to share them now?
Well, she says that now, 10 years later, she looks at these pictures. They show John happy, and why not remember him happy, sort of put the tragedy behind. So that's what you see here. You see like weekend shots, him in his shorts, often with his shirt off, playing on the beach, just the kind of snapshots that a friend would take of another friend.
Even photos taken around his wedding day on Cumberland Island back in 1996. She was one of the people invited. By the way, she tells you that it was a rather unusual invitation.
She's one of the lucky few. He called her up and just said, "We're getting married." That was
no
the invitation.
Formal, nothing like
wedding
that.
of the year, and the invitation is a phone call saying, "Come down to this island in Georgia," and you can see that they had a great and very private time. And you see him on the beach the day that he was married, playing football, shirt off, not at all nervous.
And let's just make sure we understand that you say best friends. This was a completely platonic relationship throughout the course of their friendship.
She describes John as the brother that she never had. She talks about how his girlfriends over the years would say to her, "Hey, you're lucky. You get to continue to be friends with this guy when we no longer are."
She remained close with him during the years he was married to Carolyn. Did she shed any light on that relationship? Because so much has been speculated when it comes to what was going on there.
Absolutely. She said that it was absolutely a real relationship. They were in love. They weren't putting anything on for show.
No troubles in the marriage as it was reported?
She didn't talk about that. She did talk about some of the troubles that Carolyn was having adjusting to public life, that she didn't particularly like to be photographed, and that John had 38 years to get ready for this, and she had, as Sasha says, 10 minutes to get ready for it, but that she would have adjusted. But you see in these pictures a much warmer, maybe warmer than you see in some of the paparazzi shots. You see Carolyn with children over and over again, with her hair, making coffee in the morning.
And as we approach the 10-year mark on his death, do you think he still holds the fascination for people that he once did?
Absolutely. I think you just have to look at these pictures and it reminds you instantly of this sort of glamour that he had that's gone. And as Sasha said, they had so much promise. They had so much going on. They were talking about having kids. And then it's all nipped in the bud. Suddenly gone.
Well, we'll never know. Patrick Rogers, thanks very much for sharing them. We appreciate it.